Some roads don't just take you somewhere, they take something from you. People say silence is peaceful. But on this stretch of asphalt cutting through the empty plains of Oklahoma, silence feels wrong. Like the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to make a mistake. They call it Highway 74, but locals have another name for it. The road that listens. It was past midnight when Ethan Ward's headlights sliced through the fog. He'd been driving for hours, alone. The only sound the low hum of tires on wet pavement. The world beyond the windshield was a blur of gray and black, a nowhere stretch between two forgotten towns. His GPS kept losing signal. No radio stations worked. His phone flickered between one bar and none. Still, he drove. There was a hollow urgency in his chest, like he wasn't running towards something, but away from it. Every few miles, he passed an old wooden sign half buried in weeds. Silent highway, drive safe. But the letters looked burned, warped, like the sign had survived something it shouldn't have. When the fog thickened, he slowed down. The road began to feel unreal, looping, endless, repeating itself. Even the cracks in the asphalt looked familiar. Then he saw it. A car, the same make and color as his, parked on the shoulder. Headlights off. Windows fogged. He slowed to look. His stomach dropped. Inside that car was someone, sitting perfectly still in the driver's seat. When Ethan's headlights passed over, the figure turned its head toward him. Same face. Same jacket. Same him. Ethan's hand slammed the gas pedal. The tires screeched, cutting through the fog. He didn't look back. But in his mirror, for half a second, he saw his own car pull out from the shoulder and start following him. Ethan's heart pounded against the steering wheel. The highway stretched endlessly ahead, a gray ribbon swallowed by fog. He told himself he imagined it. Sleep deprivation, low light, tricks of reflection. But then, he checked his mirror. The car behind him was still there, matching his speed exactly, headlights off, tires silent. He pressed harder on the gas. 60, 70, 80. The fog thinned for a second, and he saw the road split. One lane curved gently left, the other veered right into thicker darkness. His GPS was dead. Instinct said left, but something colder made him take the right. That's when the world shifted. The white road lines were gone. The fog seemed to glow, not from light, but from something beneath it. And the sound, it wasn't silence anymore. He could hear breathing. Slow, steady, human breathing coming from inside the car. Ethan turned the rearview mirror slightly. There was someone sitting in the back seat. He froze. Every muscle locked. His throat went dry. The figure's face was shadowed, but its posture mirrored his exactly. Head tilted, shoulders tense. Even its hand moved when he did, like a reflection without glass. He didn't scream. He couldn't. Instead, he drove faster. The fog turned the world into a tunnel, pale and infinite. The engine whined. His vision blurred. When he finally dared to glance back again, the back seat was empty. For a moment, relief hit him like air after drowning. Then he looked ahead, and his breath caught. Standing in the middle of the road, illuminated by his headlights, was himself. Same jacket, same posture, but the face was blank. Ethan jerked the wheel. The car swerved violently. Tires screeched. The world spun, light, darkness, metal, until everything went still. When Ethan came to, the engine was still running. The car sat at an odd angle on the shoulder, steam hissing from the hood. He blinked, dazed. His forehead was bleeding, a fine line of red down his temple. But what froze him wasn't the pain, it was the silence. No crickets, no wind, no passing cars, just a low hum, a vibration under the ground, like the earth itself was breathing. He stumbled out of the car, dizzy. His headlights cut through the fog, revealing nothing but more highway. No skid marks, no trees, no horizon. It was like he'd crashed in the middle of nowhere that didn't exist. He checked his phone. Still no signal. Battery, 2%. He turned in a slow circle, trying to find anything, a sign, a sound, a reason. That's when he saw something glinting near the road divider. A cracked smartphone. He picked it up. The wallpaper was a photo of him. Same clothes. Same car in the background. Same highway. He dropped it instantly. The screen lit up, even though the battery symbol showed empty. A text appeared across the lock screen. Turn around. His pulse spiked. He looked behind him. Through the fog, another figure was standing in the middle of the road. Not close, not far, motionless. Its outline was human, but distorted, as if the fog itself was bending around it. He yelled, "Who are you?" No response. The figure didn't move. He stepped forward. Each step echoed unnaturally, too loud, too slow. When he was close enough to see its face, he stopped breathing. It was his face, only pale, drained, lifeless. The eyes were dark hollows. The mouth twitched like it was trying to form words, but couldn't. Then it turned and began to walk away, down the highway that disappeared into the fog. Ethan followed. He didn't know why. Maybe because he couldn't turn back. Maybe because this was the only thing that felt real. And with every step, the sound of his own heartbeat began to fade. The deeper Ethan walked into the fog, the quieter the world became. Not silent, but muffled, like sound itself was being swallowed. The air felt thicker, colder. He could see his breath, but it hung motionless in front of him, frozen in place. The road beneath his feet was changing too. The yellow lines warped, stretching like melted paint. He glanced back to see if his car was still there, but the highway behind him was gone. Just fog. Endless, shifting fog. That's when the whispers started. Soft, broken voices, echoing from nowhere and everywhere at once. They said his name. Over and over. "Ethan. Ethan, you left us." He spun around. Figures began to form in the mist. Not solid, but silhouettes. Dozens of them, maybe more, all standing still at different distances. Each shape seemed human, but their faces were blurred, their outlines flickering. One stepped closer. It was a woman. Her face was hollow, eyes sunken, mouth trembling. Her voice cracked through the air like static. "You shouldn't have stopped." Ethan staggered back. "What do you mean?" She tilted her head, as if she didn't understand the question. Then her expression twisted, her jaw opening wider, too wide, until it tore into the fog itself. The whispers turned into screams. The ground shook. He covered his ears, shouting, "Stop!" Everything went silent again. The woman was gone. The silhouettes were gone. Only the road remained. But something new was there now. A green highway sign, glowing faintly through the haze. He walked closer, heart pounding. The letters came into focus. "Welcome to Silent Highway. Population 1. His hands began to tremble. Then he saw something etched below the sign, scratched into the metal, fresh marks. Ethan Ward. His breath caught. And that's when headlights appeared behind him, bright, blinding, and fast approaching. He turned around just as the roar of an engine filled the air. The lights grew brighter, too bright, until Ethan had to shield his eyes. A car was speeding straight toward him, its engine screaming, cutting through the fog like a blade. He froze. His body refused to move. At the last second, the car veered, tires skidding. It stopped inches from him. The door opened. Ethan stepped closer, heart hammering, and looked inside. The driver was him. Alive. Breathing. Terrified. Exactly like he had been hours ago. Their eyes met through the haze of headlights. The other Ethan shouted, "Get out of the road." But his voice echoed wrong. Layered, distorted, like two versions of him were speaking at once. Ethan stumbled back, trying to understand. He looked behind the car and saw his crashed vehicle from earlier, still steaming, still frozen in the same position. Same license plate. Same broken headlight. Time hadn't moved forward. It had reset. The other Ethan slammed the door and sped off down the highway, the same way he had before, unknowingly driving into the same nightmare. And as the car disappeared into the fog, Ethan heard his own voice whisper from somewhere behind him. "You were never driving away. You were already gone." The hum returned, deep, mechanical, like the heartbeat of the highway itself. The fog swallowed everything again. He ran. He screamed. But no sound came out. Then suddenly, silence. The camera of reality seemed to pull back, revealing the empty road once more, stretching infinitely through nothingness. The car's headlights glowed faintly in the distance before vanishing entirely. And then, as if the world rewound, the same engine hum rose again, faintly at first, then louder. Another car appeared on the horizon, headlights cutting through the fog. A different driver this time. Same road. Same fate waiting ahead. Because on the silent highway, no one ever leaves. They just trade places.